Michelle Smallman.
The Browns moving back the exercise dates of Myles Garrett's option bonuses freed up zero cap space. Why is he on the team? He's an amazing player. He's going nowhere with this team. They don't win with him. They cannot win without him. And another team definitively would look at him as, if we get him, we're playing in February. We are on Sports Tonight here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, along with Michelle Smallman, Courtney Cronin in for Chris Canty today. Evan Cohen with you. This is Executive Evaluation brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. The executive we're about to evaluate would be Andrew Berry, the general manager of the Cleveland Browns, because something happened yesterday that we need to note. So we made a big deal about Lamar Jackson showing up, new head coach, new offensive coordinator, to Ravens camp for voluntary workouts, right? And yes, you both felt it was necessary for our show and all of our other great shows here on ESPN to discuss that, right?
Well, especially when his new offensive coordinator made public comments pointedly saying that if they wanted to win a championship, everybody needed to be at these voluntary workouts.
Absolutely right. QB1 has become a literal term and a figurative term. QB1, Cody Rhodes in the WWE calls himself QB1. He doesn't actually play quarterback. It means face of the franchise.
Right.
Right? QB1 figuratively of the Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett. I don't think anybody would deny that. Well, they had voluntary workouts yesterday. He doesn't normally go to those. He's with a new head coach and with a new defensive coordinator, just like Lamar on his side of the ball, and wasn't there. Todd Monken, head coach of the Browns, had this to say yesterday about Myles Garrett, superstar, Hall of Famer, everybody would want him, not showing up to voluntary workouts.
Well, first of all, as I've said before, this is voluntary for our players to be here. I think if you asked every coach in the NFL, would they like every player to be there? That, of course. I think there's certain parts of what we do from a connection standpoint, that I think is important to be here. From a schematic standpoint, from a work standpoint, not so much. And it is our job to make it to where the guys want to be here. I mean, not just by the job, but by their development, by the camaraderie, being part of a team. I mean, hell, I've been part of a team since I've been 5 years old. There's nothing like it. I wouldn't miss it because that's me. That's how I'm wired. But it is voluntary. Myles will be ready. I'm not worried about Myles.
Nobody was worried about him being ready. And let me just preface everything we're about to say. We are unaware if there's a personal situation that would prevent him from being there. So obviously, our comments are null and void if there's a personal thing that we're unaware of. Let's just go based on actions over words of what we're aware of. It's not there. And Todd Monken said, if it were me, I'd be here. Smalls, how do you take what Monken said about Myles Garrett yesterday?
I think I'm going to like Todd Monken as a head coach. I think when he talks, he says things and we pay attention. He says things, he gives us a little something, which I appreciate. So good job, Coach. Myles Garrett didn't show up last year. He had 23 sacks. Defensive Player of the Year. Single season sack record. I also am not worried about him being ready from a football perspective. But we're talking about what this means for the team holistically, what this means for the team as a whole, not just his individual performance, which I'm sure will be up to par as it always is.
Of course.
If he is QB1, which he is, he's the face of the franchise, and you're trying to build a new culture, trying to build a winning culture, which this organization has been devoid of for a very long time, I think it would be pretty smart for you to show up. Because guess what? You're the one that's going to have to hold everyone else in that locker room to a certain standard. So if you're there and you're saying every single part of this is important, if we want to win, if we want to turn this thing around, if I don't want my career to be wasted in a place where I'm not going to win football games, it starts with me and it starts here. But he obviously has a rhythm that has worked for him, and he doesn't think it's necessary. And it is voluntary. It is voluntary.
Were you asking, because you brought up Lamar Jackson in the comments that we heard, from obviously from Declan Doyle back in February. Are you implying that there might be a double standard there?
I'm implying that this is worth discussing.
Sure.
Because if we're just in general, as talk show hosts, entertainers, sports fans, if we're talking about faces of the franchise leading teams, this would be a face of the franchise in the exact same situation as Lamar relative to new head coach and new coordinator on his side of the ball. and we praise Lamar for showing up, well, then we have to ask questions about Myles. And my main theme, Courtney, for bringing this up is very simple. How many times does this guy have to tell us he doesn't want to be in Cleveland before they listen? He asks out last year, they give him a new deal for him to stay. He talks about, I'm comfortable with the QB plan. What the heck was the QB plan a year ago? What is it now? I'm not sure. He then restructures his contract willingly to say, sure, I won't take money now. I'll take it later. Well, why did everyone say they did that? They said they did that because it technically would be either this year or next year easier to trade. New coach, new coordinator. He's not there for voluntary workouts. Trade this man already. Trade him.
The optics of it do make it seem like he doesn't want to be there and that this is greasing the wheels for him to get out of Cleveland. He does have that no trade clause, so he gets to dictate the terms of where he goes. I think Todd Monken is saying the right things publicly, and I'm sure privately, knowing that who was he advocating for? He being Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett wanted Jim Schwartz to be the head coach in Cleveland, and he's not there anymore. It's Mike Rutenberg who's going to be his defensive coordinator. So it is important for him to be there right now. Who gives a rip about what's going on the field? No one in April when these dudes are in shorts. It's about the team building. It's about the camaraderie. It's about being present to learn your head coach, learn your defensive coordinator, learn the new players that are going to be on the roster. That matters. This will only become an issue June 9th through 11th when they have mandatory minicamp if he's not there. Then I will fully buy into your idea that he wants out, that he doesn't want to be there, that he's telling him by those fines that he's going to incur if that happens, get me out of Cleveland. I don't think we're there yet.
And I still think that opportunity for the Browns, Courtney,
to trade him.
Yeah, you're going nowhere.
I don't disagree with your logic there. I don't think they do it. I don't think they have an incentive to do it right now. However, unlike Lamar, because I do think that there's two different situations here. Lamar Jackson was hurt last year. He underachieved by all measures, his own included. Myles Garrett misses the offseason program, and as Michelle pointed out, had 23 sacks and wins Defensive Player of the Year.
He didn't underachieve, but they stink.
The team does. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think Myles Garrett views this in a way of, I'm going to be good whether I'm there or not. It may not be great for the team, but you can understand he hasn't missed games. He played 17 games last season. Lamar Jackson did not. So I think when we talk about these two situations, because multiple teams are starting off-season workouts this week, I think they're completely different.
I understand that. I guess my overall point is this. I don't understand how the Cleveland Browns have not taken advantage of the idea that Myles Garrett has given you enough reason to believe maybe he doesn't want to be there, and how that's actually a great opportunity for you.
Has he asked for a trade right now? Has he asked for a trade right now? I know about last year. That was before they gave him the big contract. Has he asked for a trade right now?
I don't know. I don't know that they know.
I don't think you do that I don't think you pull that plug until you effectively hear it from him. The optics don't look great right now. It looks like, maybe this guy doesn't want to be here. But maybe he does. Maybe he's just following the same protocol he's been operating with the last couple off seasons.
Is he getting paid to be an excellent football player, or is he getting paid to be a leader?
An excellent football player.
Both. Let's continue that. The answer is both if we're going to label him QB1.